The Burrowbuck is incredibly strong and brings a whole bunch of new abilities to the game. It can dig burrows, turn itself invisible, and has insane mobility. And here are 5 abilities you haven't heard of yet. Hello to the crew and welcome back for another video on ARK Ascended. Grab a bottle of water and let's get straight into it. The burrows are a great way to build a base or quickly travel from one location to another one in the early game. There are 3 types of burrows. Traps can be used to capture creatures or players and hold them underground for 20 seconds. For each rabbit, you can place 6 gateways that can be used as public teleporters to fast travel across the map. And the last one is the Hidey-hole, where you can build a small base that you can access from anywhere on the map. Unfortunately, all 3 of these burrow types have a decay timer. The trap lasts several hours, the gateways last exactly 1 hour, and the Hidey-hole expires after 2 days. After that, these structures are simply destroyed. And in the case of the Hidey-hole, creatures just fall out of the hole and the loot drops into bags beneath the map. However, the decay timer can be reset by simply using these structures. This means that if you teleport back and forth between your gateways, the used gateways are resetted and the timer goes back to 1 hour. If you enter and exit your Hidey-hole, the timer is also reset to the 2 days. It's important to note that the Hidey-hole timer only resets when you leave it. This is especially important because small tribes can effectively maintain the temporary structures forever with reasonable offline timers, allowing them to build a bunker that doesn't decay until they have enough progress to move to a better base. Here is a quick tip. You can also place burrows in the aberration overworld. You can't survive there during the day, but your creatures can. That means you can build a base that's incredibly hard to raid, and at the same time, you can breed small creatures there. And on top, the entrance won't get destroyed during the daytime. This also works in the radiation zone. You'll take radiation damage, but you can store supplies until you find a better spot. Are you tired of playing alone on a dead server? Sick of lag, wipes, and admins who never show up? Then it's time to join TBS. Enough of this nonsense, we've seen it all before. It's still TBS, tougher, better, stronger, and you can win real money if you're the best. Links are in the description. I'll see you on the cluster. If you're taming a bunch of rabbits, you can place 6 gates per rabbit, regardless of which level they are. However, the limit per rabbit only applies to the gates, which means that although that you can place 6 gates, you can use them all. This means you can have 12, 18 or more burrows at the same time and use them all via the same network. This means it doesn't matter which rabbit you use to set up your gateway burrows. You can use them all with any rabbit. However, you can only have 1 Hidey-hole and 1 pop-up entrance, but the pop-up entrance can be moved without destroying the Hidey-hole anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. This probably isn't even that useful, as the time is still limited to just 1 hour, and it's certainly very rare to have more than 6 gateways in the same hour. Perhaps during large raids or in situations where you have to travel far or with certain tactics, but otherwise it's just an interesting fact. As of I'm editing this, I'm at about 11k subs. If you could sub to help me reaching my goal of 20k subs, I would greatly appreciate it. When you destroy an enemy burrow, all the loot is stored beneath the map, as there is no loot bag for the items that were in the Hidey-hole. The creatures that were in a Hidey-hole fall out of the hole, much like with a bunker, and spawn on top of the map. The loot bags, however, spawn beneath the map. Now, you might think the loot is gone, but you can place your own hidey-hole on top of where the old one was to get the loot bags. It might take a few attempts, but this way you can easily get the loot bags into your own hidey-hole and then loot them from there. It will take a few attempts, as the placement of the hidey-hole is somewhat random, but it always sets it in the area of the entrance. However, this way you can easily get hold of your opponent's loot. This also works if you die beneath the mesh. If you're lucky and your loot doesn't fall completely beneath the map, you can use this method to retrieve the corpses of your creatures or your player. The trap burrow is quite useful when it comes to taming creatures or trapping players. As you've already seen, however, not all creatures can be trapped. The trap is based on the drag weight of the creature running into it. It can trap creatures with a drag weight of up to 400, which means anything smaller than a mammoth, ranging from dodos to stegos, trikes and rhinos, can be caught. Anything heavier than a mammoth, such as golems and reapers, will simply walk over the trap and not fall into it. It is important to know that triggering the trap does not pull aggro. That means creatures will not attack you just because they fall into your trap. It doesn't work underwater because creatures have to walk into it. It does work on flyers though, but they have to run into it. However, it works for PTs and snow owls, for example, as they are running on the ground a lot. The hidey-hole doesn't just have one entrance, it can have up to 2 entrances. This means you can use this entrance to teleport home from anywhere on the map if you have a rabbit with you, and use it as a fast travel feature. However, don't use it in PvP, as other players can follow into your hidey-hole. Unlike the gateways, all rabbits share the entrances to the hidey-hole, so you can only have 2 of these entrances at the same time. It seems as though they're always public in PvP and always locked in PvE. At least that's what I've heard so far, but I cannot confirm it, and I would be grateful if you could clarify this in the comments. If you want to know more about the new Aura Neo, check out my full guide and my PvP guide for the new spider. It's really important to know what she can do, otherwise you'll miss out on a lot of fun in PvP. I hope you liked this video, and I'm thrilled to read if this video has helped you. Hit the like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and consider subbing to the channel. Alright, Frodo!